The biggest mistake that most sellers make online is trying to attract everybody in the world to their business. Okay, this is a very unsuccessful tactic because realistically you're not able to attract everybody in the world. Okay, there are some people who need what you have to offer, and then there are some people who don't care or need anything or having to do with your business. Okay, the reality is you need to focus on the people who actually need what you offer. And in order to know that, you've got to figure out what it is you are solving. Okay, what problem do you solve? Okay, once you figure out what problem you solve, you then realize the people that can benefit from your offer. And those are the people you want to reach out to. Does that make sense? Okay, if you don't know what problem your business, your company, your product, right? If you don't know what they solve, you're in a position of conducting business blindly, right? You don't really have any direction. It's like going fishing, okay? If you're in a boat, right, and you throw the fishing rod in the middle of the pond, okay, you are just randomly trying. I think there's some fish here. I think so. And then you throw your fishing rod in, your fishing line in, you bring it back up, no fish. So what do? You're going to go on the other side of the lake, right? You're going to go on the other side of the pool. You're going to throw your fishing line in, you're going to dip it in, you're going to pull it out, and what? No fish. Let's keep going, right? Your goal as a fisherman in that boat, right? You are just trying to catch any fish. You don't care what kind of fish. You don't even have any bait on your hook. You're just throwing the line in and hope you start getting some fish and catching them, right? Instead, okay, from the fisherman perspective, what if you knew that in this lake there are these special trouts, okay? And trout only eat a certain type of bait. So you have to find that bait, put the bait on the hook, and then you know that in this lake, they're only on the east side of the lake, not on the other side. So you would have to get your boat into that area, and then you're going to go ahead, put the bait on the hook, and then put the hook in the water, and you'll start pulling out all the fish, right? Pulling them out. What's the difference between both of those fishermen? The first one that went in the boat and was just randomly trying to fish versus the other one who knew about the trout, right? It was the research. It was the dedication, the time that they took to actually understand what type of fish are they trying to catch, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so from a business perspective, you have to understand what are the audiences that you're trying to catch? What type of customer are you trying to attract, right? You can't just throw your fishing line in the random pool of the world and hope to get random customers, right? Again, you don't have the right bait. You're just randomly fishing. You don't know what's going on. Okay. But if, again, you know your business and what type of solution you have to offer, you know who you are attracting, right? You already know what they want because you've got the solution. So you would also know where they might be, right? Okay. Depending on what your business is or what you do, right, you might realize that all your customers are on Instagram, or all your customers are more on LinkedIn because you have a business to business type setup model, business model, right? Okay. You might realize if you're a local business that all your customers are on Facebook, right? Every platform has a different purpose, right, as far as attracting the right fish for your catch, right? So you've got to realize, again, what it is you have to offer. Once you figure that out, you know the type of people that you are trying to attract to your offer. And then from that, you know where to go to start attracting these customers, right? Okay, don't blindly just start throwing out randomness, okay? Because then that just makes you seem random and inconsistent and not reliable and trustworthy, okay? Be consistent. When you do the research and you really figure out who your ideal customer and client is, You are showing your ideal customer and client that you care. You take the time to actually, know who they are and know what they want. Versus you say you have something and you're just randomly pitching to all these random people, you're probably going to either get ignored or people are going to start calling you out for being weird. I don't know how else to say it, but it's a weird vibe when, if you sell, for example, you sell I don't know, you sell cooking utensils, okay? But you are posting it on YouTube to, I don't know, college students. It's like, they might use that, but that's not the best pool. That's not the best audience that you want to tap into. Cooking utensils, I would think maybe women, maybe mothers, maybe you could even tap into restaurant owners. Like, there's different pools of people, and you got to know who you're trying to attract, right? And then from there, you can say, okay, well, these people live here, 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 or they always come here, and that's where I need to be too. Okay. One more example is you might sell coffee mugs. Okay. You might sell coffee mugs, and you're probably thinking, well, everybody drinks coffee. I'm just going to try to grab everybody. Yes and no. Okay. Not, yes, everybody drinks coffee, but if you can tap into the specific type of person that drinks coffee, going back to my fisherman example, right? There's like all the fish that I know love water, right? So I'm just going to try to catch any fish. No, that's logically, I see the logic, but no, realistically, that's not the best route. You still want to define who it is your target audience is. So again, from that coffee mug perspective, right, my ideal customer would probably be somebody who goes to work every day, and before they go to work, they take their first cup of coffee and they're drinking coffee, and they might even take their cup to their desk while they're working and they're drinking coffee as well. So my ideal client from a coffee mug perspective is a business professional who is on the go all the time, right? So where do they hang out? Well, a lot of business owners are on LinkedIn. So you can tap in there. And where else can you find it? In the physical realm, right? Coffee shops. You might want to see if you can sell your coffee mugs to coffee shops who cater to these business professionals, right? Does that make sense? You have to define again what you have to offer, understand and know who that offer will help, and then from there you'll be able to attract as many customers as you need to once you get the messaging out and start promoting and connecting with that audience. Make sense? I appreciate you, friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this video has given you some value, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Until next time, stay bright, stay beautiful, and keep on smiling. Later, Gator. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.